and forth, bickering back and forth for years, like an old married couple. Well, ladies and gentlemen, today on Dream Matches, on Dream Masters, I should say, we're going to have the dream match of dream matches from Sesame Street, as this time, even though they're tag team partners normally, putting their friendships and good friendships aside to have a one-on-one Ernie versus Bert. Who is the tougher of the two? We're about to answer that right now. How many people grew up on Sesame Street who watches this show, who is excited to see people like Bert and Ernie on the show? Quite frankly, I'm a huge fan of the Muppets. I'm going to be the first to admit that, and I'm almost 40 years old. I still love the Muppets. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm cool, and so are the Muppets. And so are the guys from Sesame Street. Grew up with these guys, and I always remember Bert and Ernie always, talking back and forth, and Ernie always trying to do something. Bert always on him, like always a worrywart was Bert, my opinion on Bert. And I always, as a kid, I used to wish to see that Ernie would sometimes tell Bert to, hey, relax. Bert was kind of a stress buffing, if you would. As Ernie right now is showing him why he should be stressed out, as he's stomping and kicking and kneeing Bert. Longtime good friends, these two. Ooh, and a clothesline by Ernie. And looking for the approval of the fans, which he gets. He's Ernie after all, folks. And Bert now swinging that breaker. There it is. Fans are probably delighted to see these two anyway. And Bert pulling out all stuff. The elbows to the forehead. Putting the friendship right aside. It's always good when you can beat each other up and then, shake hands and be a helpful team afterwards. Ernie's on his feet, though, and Bert with a shot from behind, but Ernie fires back with a right hand of his own. This is, I can tell you right now, folks, this is the first time these two have met up one-on-one. Anywhere. And Ernie was trying to fire something up there. Bert had a different idea, and there's a DDT by Bert. The Sesame Street driver. And Bert says that might be enough. Ernie says, I don't think so, Bert. Ernie probably looking for his rubber ducky right about now. But there's no rubber ducky there right now, folks. He's strictly got to use himself and by himself alone. And the right hand, Ernie breaks the arm bar. And Ernie now, full control of Bert, brings him over to the top, dumps Bert over the top rope to the outside. You'll notice there is no pinfalls because we've had to scold the referee to tell him how we do things here. Trust me, folks, we were not nice to the referee. We told him exactly what he was doing wrong. He's apologized. He apologizes to you guys, the fans, for almost messing up potentially messing up a title match in that last match we saw. Oh my, what a DDT. Ernie gets a 2 count on Bert, and Ernie can't believe it. Now, if you want to know that what we've seen from these two, we know that Ernie is more of the kind of the brawn kind of the team, kind of the physical kind of a guy. Well, Bert is a little bit more of the high flyer and the quicker of the two. He's more of a scientific wrestler as Bert, where Ernie likes to brawl. That's the biggest difference we've seen the two. And there's a DDT by Bert, calculating that he is. And now Bert is measuring Ernie, but you never thought you'd ever hear that. And Bert's up, driven to the mat. Bert picks him up again. He's going to wish probably he didn't, because Ernie just turned that around. Clothesline in the corner. And Ernie now goes for the pin. Gets a 1 count. This time he's not complaining about it. He knew that his friend had more fighting than that. What is this now? Chris Jericho of AEW. What is he doing here? It's one thing for the WWE guys to pop up once in a while, but now Chris Jericho has no business in this ring. But Ernie, what the heck? What are we doing? AEW invades our show. Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to go to his show and invade him. Oh my, code breaker. by Chris Jericho of AEW. Like a snake in the grass, he leaves. And Bert will pick up the win. I guess Jericho is not a fan of Ernie, I guess. What a cheap god of garbage. The current AEW champion sneaking in like a snake in the grass. Interfering in this match. Costing Ernie. Now, if you're a Bert, you must feel a little bit bad, because I'm sure Bert had anything to do with Chris Jericho popping up out of nowhere. Look at Jericho. Comes in, code breaker.
Here is your winner, Bernie.
So Bert wins. Give the assist to Chris Jericho of AEW, the current AEW World Champion. Where do we go over to the Dream Masters Classics? We got something for Jericho. Anyway. Oh well, like I said, folks, we have no control over the outcomes of the matches or anything that happens during the match. And this is just proof of it. I would have rather seen a clean victory myself, but nothing we can do about that. The 3 fall was down. Alright, stick around as we have another qualifier coming up. And I'm going to ask you guys, do you guys like a little story time? Well, be careful. And don't say the next person's name 5 times. All right. See you soon.